Okay, a little update. Rear diff all filled up, ready to go. Transfer case has been drained, the plug's installed. I just cleaned out the gun. We're gonna fill it with, now we'll pump in 2 quarts of ATF plus 4 in the transfer case. Then we're done with all the extracurriculars. Then we'll get back focused on installing the new gasket, the new filter, and getting this pan all torqued up. We'll look up those torque specs and so forth. This right here that you're looking at is the actual dipstick right here. Can you see it? That's where your dipstick comes down. It goes all the way through and up into the engine compartment. ATF plus 4, basically just took the old pump gun right here, cleaned it all out nice with brake cleaner. Now we'll start filling this with this ATF plus 4 and start filling the transfer case up. All right, let's go over here. You can see that Mike is just prepping the brand new gasket for the oil pan.
I think they're clever. So when we put this on, we just got to make sure that it's on.
Yeah, it doesn't just kind of like press on where it would hold it good.
It wants to pop back off.
There we go. There it is. You can see it's all been cleaned up nice, and the magnet. So we got the new filter will be going in next, right? Yep. There's the number on the Mopar filter right there. All right, so we're not happy with this company, Felpro. This just really, there's a $15 gasket at Napa. There it is. It really wasn't a good fit. It just kept bouncing off.
There's the OE one.
Oh, the OEM just fits perfectly. So we're just
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, we're just gonna go with the OEM.
This is the new.
The new just doesn't fit well. I mean, yeah, it kind of fits the outline, but it just tends to want to wobble out. And there are these little holes in the side of the pan, and the gasket has rubber detents that are supposed to fit in them. And they really just don't line up perfectly. They're off like a 32nd of an inch.
This one, when you look here, and I put both corners on.
See the freaking gap that you have right here.
All that extra.
Really,
when you put it down, it pops off somewhere else.
Yeah, really.
Kind of disappointing.
What a pain. That's just too bad.
For a company like Felpro that's been around forever.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks like 89, which is right for that size.
89 inch-pounds.
89 inch pounds.
So what we did is we're going to reuse the gasket. No problem there. I'm completely fine with that. And plenty of other people have done that on the forums. Took a rag, gently wiped the edge of the body. Now we got to get that filter in there. The large hole goes right in there. Then there's you can see a little slot right there. I think that slot goes right in there. We just got to verify that.
Now, I got to remember, I don't know if...
Let's see, some kind of little slot there, I thought. I mean, I see a slot.
Right there.
That's it. Just kind of pushes in. There's a detent.
Yeah, so if you come out a little bit, it'll wiggle.
Yeah.
And then you just feel it goes right into that slot.
Okay. And it sits really, really tight. It only comes down maybe a ½ an inch from the body. So very nice. So now we'll shoehorn. I'm going to go get the bolts. We're going to very carefully shoehorn from the front of the Jeep this way over the crossover pipe and get that thing lined up. All right.
So we got our gasket on.
Gasket's on. The magnet's in place. Just
it's tight.
Very gently.
It's tight. It's just...
Yeah, it looks like the gasket rolled off the back a little bit.
It may have.
Yeah. There it is. Okay. Yeah, now I just got to reset it.
Yeah, and we just got to reset it in there.
Reset it in the back. Okay, so you can see when it slid in, the gasket came off the back a little bit, so we just got to get that gasket caught.
Yeah, I just want to make sure it's over the lip, and it is. Nice. All the way around. Looks good. I mean, the pan's loose. It's, you got plenty of room to work that gasket. So now what we're going to do.
All right, get that in place. I'll get a bolt ready. Had this whole transmission tore apart. But the cover, everything is just hand tight. We're going to Get the flashlight. Looks like the gasket looks great. And then there's like a crisscross pattern, I believe. There was no special pattern, right, Mike? It was just like a crisscross. 89 inch-pounds is what we're looking for. All right, 89 inch-pounds. You can see crisscross pattern. Everything's looking good. The gasket looks like it's seated nice.
You say we already did the crisscross pattern, so I'm
Now,
just going double check.
I'm just gonna draw your attention. See that little heat shield right there? There's a 10mm nut. I'm gonna get a mechanical wrench and tighten that up because this one corner piece has like a heat protective shield that protects the electrical harness that plugs into the corner of the transmission on the passenger side. All right, tranny cross member back in place.
You get these two.
Gas tank skid. This is actually the holder of the gas tank. Just anti-seized them up. All right, we got a tranny cross. We got the, there's a bar that goes right in here, and the idea is it protects the crossover pipe. I'll go grab that. There are 3 bolts. Wipe this exhaust off. Drop the transmission down. There should be three studs. Let's see here. There, you can see it right there is one of them. Yeah, it's lined up good. Let her come down. Nice. We'll catch those nuts and gun the transmission up there. Nice. All right. Tranny cross member back installed. Skid plate. The 3 nuts, 16mm nuts that actually hold the, there's like an absorption plate right here with some rubber for vibration. It's all tightened up nice. This is the cross member I was telling you about for the crossover pipe. These have all been torqued on the pan, so everything is kind of nice underneath here. I don't think we're missing anything. Transfer case has been filled up with 2 quarts. The plugs in, front and rear diffs all set. So we probably can take this thing down, start it up, and we got to add some transmission, some ATF +4 into where the dipstick is. Underneath the hood, start getting some ATF +4 in the transmission. All right, putting the transfer case skid plate back on. 4 bolts. All right,
Okay.
looks good. Everything's tight. Hey, Cooter, what the hell is this?
Oh, I didn't take those.
Wrong. Kind of weird, huh?
Just a little rust. Probably that bolt probably didn't go in that hole.
Yep. All right.
Originally.
All right. So everything looks tight. Everything looks good. All right. All right. This stupid ass stock. It's like a piece of hardened steel that Jeep uses. They crimp it around the brake line. It's a total nuisance. So Mike takes a set of vice grips and he takes a nice pry bar and he's able to, because it is really strong. And he's able to just basically pry that open enough. You can see it bend right there. There you go. You should be able to pull that brake line right out of there now. Look at that. That's how it's done. All right, now we can rehook the ABS sensors back in the clips. No, I don't believe so. So I like it like this because this here I got room. Now you can see now that with full droop, I got plenty of slack. And most importantly, there's no tension on the brake line. I had a lot of tension, like a 90-degree angle pulling downward. Now, granted, I did change the shocks. These shocks are 0 to 2 inches, so that could have given me more droop. But now I don't have anything to worry about. So, happy with that. So, we'll straighten out the steering here, and we're going to drop this down and start adding some ATF +4 into the transmission. New one. All right, oil, transmission fluid right there. I'm going to pull that. Mike's got a long funnel and going to put a few quarts in for sure. I mean, we probably lost 4 quarts. I have 4 quarts of ATF +4. Then we got to start the vehicle, put it in drive, reverse, neutral, kind of move it through the gears, get it circulating in the transmission. All right, there's my transmission dipstick. So there are 2 dots. Trying to, there you go. 2 dots cold. You want to be in the middle there if you're going to do it cold. 2 dots hot. All right, so putting some new ATF 4 in right through the transmission dipstick. Got at least 4 quarts of Mopar ATF +4 here. I mean, we did lose quite a bit. I mean, researched this enough on the forums where they say in general, if you just drop the pan, you're going to be looking at 4 quarts. Okay, basically I just been going through the gears. I got the vehicle running. I'm sitting, you know, I'm on the ground. The lift bars are still set. Drive. I got my foot on the brake. Neutral. Reverse. I can feel her wanting to pull backwards. I got my foot on the brake. And this is probably the 3rd time I've gone through all the gears. We'll end up lifting it up and inspecting the pan and everything, looking for any leaks. Park.
Oh, it looks nice and dry. Nice and dry, Rick.
Okay.
Yep. I like it.
A lot of oil burning off as things heat up. I mean, the transmission fluid went everywhere, as you guys saw in the video.
Yeah. Looks good.
Nice.
Looks good here. Nice
Yep.
and dry.
All right. Take her down, brother. She's looking good. All right, I took the Jeep for a drive, got it up to, it's up to like 100, and now that it's sitting, I mean, I was at like 140. Mike did a check. As I showed you, there's 2 dots for hot. I was somewhere down here hot. We're definitely hot right now, so we're adding 1 more quart of ATF plus 4. All right, I'm at, so after I took it around the block, heated the vehicle up, got it up to about 150 degrees, the transmission. Added another quart of ATF plus 4. So at the end of the day, I'm at 5 quarts. I'll take this to work tonight and examine it again. And if I need to add a little more, I will. You know, when you research it on the forums, Mike said it comes out on average, if you do a pan drop, it's about 5.3. We're at 5, so we'll keep an eye on that. So many freaking Jeeps here. Non-stop Jeep work here at Cooter's Garage. Look at that. That suspension just flexed about a freaking foot.